What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to another episode of CGX Cast. As you can see here, fellas, we have a full panel. Today is going to be really cool. We have a lot of things to discuss. Just to give you guys a heads up, I am on daddy duty right now watching both my kiddos because the wife is out. So if you guys see me happen to get up and dip, that's the reason. And one of our members on here, Ben, might have to do the same too because he's also on daddy duty. So just want to give you guys a heads up. But again, we got some awesome people here today. I just want to take time to introduce the panel. We have a guest as well, and just see what everyone's playing and how everyone's doing. So to get started, Jerry, what's up with you? How are you? And what are you playing on what platform?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yep, I'm doing good. I actually barely made it in like 10 minutes ago, so we just got here in time. What I've been playing this week has been Fallout Guys when I don't have a lot of time, because you can jump in and play some rounds really quickly. And when I do have chunks of time, Flight Simulator. By far, I did the whole flying into the storm thing and a bunch of other stuff, and I've got a lot of hours in that so far. So I've really been enjoying that this week as well.
What are you playing Flight on?
Mostly my local build, my RTX 2060, and if I'm not on there, usually maximum settings 2080 S or the 5700 XT is actually running it better than that one. So I've been kind of dipping toe over there too.
Cool. How about you, Ben? What you been up to? What have you been playing? What platform?
Oh, I've been playing a lot of Spiritfarer on Stadia.
Ooh, yeah. How you liking it?
Oh, I love it. I've played probably 10, 12 hours worth.
Dag already. That's cool. Anything else you've been playing?
I kind of played around with Hitman on Geforce Now a little bit once it finally got loaded on.
Okay. Got that free from Epic?
Oh, yeah. You know it. Every week.
That's awesome. Cool. How about you, Duncan? What you been? How you been doing? What you been playing? What platform?
I've been doing pretty good here. I've been playing on everything this week, which is a bit nuts. I've played a bit in Shadow, some silly games, which we don't talk about. I've been playing some Winbound, Winbound. That's it, Winbound, and actually enjoying that despite the semi-negative reviews out there. What else have I been playing? I've been playing some Slay the Spire, some Fall Guys, some Fortnite because of all the Marvel characters. I've been playing that in Geforce Now, and yes, I'm going to be getting the battle pass for that as well. So it's I've been pretty busy. I thought I escaped the Fortnite bug, but the Marvel stuff just pulls you straight back in again.
That's how they get you. So Winbound, is that people make the similarity? It's like Breath of the Wild. Is that accurate?
It looks like it would be basically you have to build up your ship and you have to go between different islands and just upgrade it and all. I'm actually enjoying it, and it is it may look like a wee kids game. It's actually a lot more difficult than it looks because everybody seems to die a lot in it, and I just died in the tutorial, the tutorial levels, which just shows you. And depending on what variant you're playing on, it's got permadeath in it. I know it's really strange saying permadeath in games, but yes, if you die in one of the game modes, you actually you start completely fresh again. So so it's a bit nuts.
That's crazy. How about you, Mark? What have you been playing? What platform, and how are you doing?
Good, man. It's finally hoodie weather in the UK. I'm in my element. It's cold. I've been playing, for anyone who pre-ordered New World, they're in their official preview event at the moment. This should have been the release date before they had postponed to spring next year. Been playing that. I know Chief jumped in once he saw the stream and realized that it was up. Interested to get his views on it, but I am unimpressed with how it is so far. I am very glad it was delayed until next year, because right now it is so void of content, it is unreal.
That's crazy.
So I've been playing that on Shadow, and then weirdly, I don't usually jump to the Android version, but Fall Guys on the phone with the Razer Kishi It's actually a great setup. So I've been playing that just on the sofa because I've been a little bit ill this week, so you'll probably hear my voice go a bit. But yeah, that on the sofa is actually super, super cool, and can get just as far. Like you can get to the final rounds and be like a on an equal playing field as everyone else just by being on your phone with a controller, which is pretty cool.
Right. You've been playing it in Shadow, Fall Guys?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. How about you, Chief? How you been? What you been playing? What platform?
Yeah, it's been a busy week this week. Played Mortal Shell across several platforms, which was highly annoying because there's no cloud save. Thanks very much, Mortal Shell. That was fun.
Sucks.
That's a quite cool hack and slash game, but is one, it's typical hack and slash genre. So as soon as you leave an area and come back, everything reloads. Great fun.
It's wild.
And
Crazy.
you've got some serious dodge mechanics in there. So everything, even little guys, if you're not careful, will just smash you out of your shell and kill you. So it's that was quite a tricky one.
Dang.
So Geforce Now was definitely the better one playing that.
Huh.
And New Order, I did jump in. Yeah, it's okay as an MMO goes. I have got a review up on the channel. Unfortunately, I recorded directly off the MX Xbox this time to try and get the full 1440, and I'm not sure whether something went wrong with the bitrate or something, but it was a little bit stuttery, which doesn't really do it justice, which is a shame. But it did hold its 1440 60 frames per second quite nicely. I'm glad it's delayed. They definitely need to do a lot more polish.
Yeah.
But I lost 3 hours of my life to the game on that day, so and they're doing something right. There's certainly a lot of depth to it, and it's probably another game that I'll probably do the reviews for and move on because I haven't got 500 hours to pile into it and make it a lifestyle game, which is pretty much what it's going to be, I think.
Right.
And then finally, I jumped into Hitman on Geforce Now. It's good to see them. They've really revamped it as the classic kind of Hitman, and they've kept the style and they've kept the difficulty. So it's a good challenge. I'm actually quite enjoying Hitman.
Cool. Man, you've been playing a lot of games, man, but it's cool to see. All right, we're going to get into a hold, sir. How you been? What you been playing? What platform?
I've been playing on Stadia. I've been playing Final Fantasy 15 DLC while I was waiting for Winbound.
Wow.
And then I actually got Winbound. I was all excited for it, and then I just got too frustrated. I refunded it because...
Are you serious?
I just kept on dying. It was annoying. Keep on going back to start, and I was like... So every time I was progressing, I was like, well, at least I'm learning. And the faster I was progressing through it, the more stamina I was losing. I was dying for hunger. Then my items were poisoning me, and then I kept on falling off cliffs. And after a few hours, I just went, nope, not playing it. It's too frustrating to me.
So if you die in that game, you have to start from the beginning?
Start from the beginning.
Whoa, I'm good. That's crazy.
So with Zelda, every time I accidentally fall in, like Breath of the Wild, I just use a paraglider just to reduce damage. But on this game, every time I fell or jumped into the water, I was just always, getting damage, and then that just affected me gameplay going forward. I was like, oh
man, that's crazy.
I'm one of them negative people.
Yeah, stay away from that game. It's nuts. All right, so for our special guest today, we have Project Storm. Now, this is an awesome dude, definitely knowledgeable when it comes to Google Stadia and cloud gaming. So just want to check in with you, sir, see what you're playing and see what platform and how you doing.
Well, I'm doing pretty good, man. But first of all, I have to thank you guys for letting me share this panel, man, because many, if not all of you, I've been checking out, you know what I'm saying? And I respect what you guys are doing. I've been playing a whole lot like Chief, man. I've been on the Xbox playing Madden 21. I'm in the top 100 every year on Madden. So it's going to be hard to balance that now that I'm trying to push out a lot of content, man. But I've been playing that. Of course, my Flight Simulator, that game is just amazing, man. It's like a marvel. It's just a true marvel. I don't understand how they're able to do these things. Like I saw stuff on Twitter where they had planes flying into the hurricane or whatever, that Hurricane Laura, or flying around that. Right. So just to think about that stuff, man, it just gets me excited about the future of gaming and what like these cloud platforms might be able to do with the technology that they have. But I've also been playing I've tried a 2K demo, man. I did a Orcs Must Die 3 live stream, like a code giveaway. I was lucky enough to receive a code from Stadia, man, from Google.
Oh,
Stadia.
cool.
So I'm already a Stadia Pro sub, so I decided I would just give the code away with hopes that somebody would be able to jump on and try it out, man. So
that's awesome.
Those are some of the things that I've been doing, man. I'm all over the place. PS4, you name it, man.
That's really cool. Really cool. Yeah, I haven't played Flight yet, but it seems like a lot of people are loving it. So it's pretty cool to see that you are enjoying that one too.
Yeah, well, because of Marchief, I'm able to enjoy it. He knows what I'm talking about. He actually got me involved in the landing challenges. See, me, I'm loving the game so much. I just got stuck on the training missions. I'm blown away by the training missions. So when Marchief, he was like, he reached out on Twitter and was like, hey man, you got to try the landing challenges, whatever. So we have this friendly competition going on now with the weekly challenges. So I got to get my game up.
That's awesome. All right, so we're going to get right into this podcast, and just want to take a sec to say what's up to you guys on. I see people in the chat just saying hi. At the end of the podcast, if we have time, we have a huge panel today, so I don't know if we'll have time to answer questions, but if we do have time, we will chat with you guys. Don't forget, though, if you guys want to talk to us, we do have the open mic segments every Mondays and Wednesdays, too. But we're going to get right into this podcast. Again, a lot to talk about. So let's kick it off with the Xcloud news. As you guys know, Xcloud should be releasing pretty soon, if you want to call it Game Pass game streaming, right? But something that we noticing is they are getting some pretty good games to Game Pass. And just to put this out there, just because these games are coming out for Game Pass doesn't necessarily mean we'll see it on, with game streaming, or if you want to call it Xcloud. So 2 games that comes to mind right now that's recently released for Game Pass is Wasteland 3, and there's another game called Tell Me Why. Now, this game is kind of like Life is Strange by Square Enix, or think about like the Telltale games. I've been playing it a little bit. It was good. But I want to know from the panel, what are your thoughts about... Hold on one second. The kiddo's here. Hold on. Chief, take over.
Okay. I'll...
One second.
Wait for Ace to hit the mute button. Okay, so first up, hands up. Anybody been playing any of these games on Xcloud? I guess to show the Xcloud popularity amongst the crowd.
Nah, I haven't really been playing too much. For me, it's kind of hard for me to go back down to 720p resolution, man, to tell you the truth. After being spoiled by 4K resolution on Stadia and Shadow and stuff, it's just tough for me.
Yeah, Project Storm's making me jealous with his 4K recording setups. So very jealous. I must say, I think I mentioned in one of the previous podcasts that they Tell Me Why. I think it was showcased in one of the other events, and the graphics and the story to it just looks really intriguing. It's like a playthrough movie as such. So I think that would be quite an interesting one. I've not really looked at any of the others.
Well, I'm so interested to get it, but I'm waiting until all the episodes are out. I can't play it one episode at a time. So when I go back to Telltales or Heavy Rain or something like that, I always play as the full game, never as episode.
Right.
So it's something I'm really interested in looking at.
Okay. How about Wasteland 3? Sorry, guys, about my daughter's situation, but she's watching her Trolls, so she's good for now. But how about Wasteland 3? Because that's a $60 game, right? That just released on PC and consoles, right? And for it to come to Game Pass right away, just want to know what your thoughts are on that. Have you guys played it? Do you think it's a good approach for Microsoft to be getting a game? I would consider that like a AA caliber type of game to begin that same day release on the Game Pass. So what's your take on that? Are you interested in Wasteland?
No, I'm not. And sometimes maybe it's a double-edged sword, isn't it, when they offer games straight to Game Pass, because a lot of people start thinking, well, maybe they never had, support behind it, in a sense that it's not that much great of a game. But with it being on Game Pass, it's no harm, is it? Really, just downloading and testing it. So if I was interested, I would try it.
Right. How about you? Let's. I don't know if you answer this, Jerry, but what's your take on this? Have you played
I've-
any of them? Are you excited about it?
It's been so busy with videos. I've got both of these downloaded, so I'll definitely have some stuff coming out on Tell Me Why and Wasteland. But when it goes to the $60 games coming to Game Pass, just like Holt said, it's not a bad thing, right? It's always going to be a good thing to get games on the day that they come out onto the service, and they're gonna keep doing that, which is really nice. I like it because it's less games we have to buy because we're trying to cover so many things at one time.
Right.
Not only for the consumer, but for people that have channels. Those kinds of subscription services with that much value help everybody, and that's what makes Microsoft really friendly to gamers. And I see a lot of people covering a lot of Microsoft stuff right now because they're being so friendly with gamers and with YouTubers and things like that. We know Nintendo is really strict when it comes to their stuff with YouTube and streaming, and they get all into all kinds of issues with people, even Sony sometimes, but Microsoft seems to be really friendly when it comes to all this kind of stuff. So I really like seeing it, and I agree the graphics and Tell Me Why are amazing. So I have it downloaded. I booted it up for like 5 minutes, and then I had to go, but definitely doing some testing, checking that out closer, and the story seems really cool to play through. You guys know I kind of like the games where you can hang back, kind of play through a movie every now and then and enjoy it. So that seems like what it's going to be. So looking forward to getting into that.
Cool. How about you, Mark? Have you played it? What's your take on any of those games?
I haven't played either of them yet. Wasteland 3, it to me seems a bit more of a top-down strategic.
Right.
I didn't look into it too much, but that's not really my scene. I'm more of a run and gun, no strategy, no thinking kind of guy. But 100% agree with what Jerry just said in terms of, one, the business model being so friendly to content creators, which at the end of the day just helps everyone out. We're paying into this platform. The platform's doing well, giving us games so that we can play them, and we're sharing the games so that other people can check them out and be like, yeah, I want a piece of that. So I'm either gonna buy the game or subscribe to this platform as well. So it's like a win-win-win, really.
Right.
But yeah, tell me why specifically that. I've been thinking of doing a stream of that because for that reason exactly. It's kind of a bit more chill. Like you just sit back. It's kind of like watching a movie with the stream, which is kind of cool. So yeah, because the last time, the closest I've come to that is Death Stranding, because although being a game, it's basically like a film, and that was really cool. We just kind of hung back and watched the cutscenes in that. So yeah, looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Running simulator.
Yeah. Cool. How about you, Duncan? What's your take on this? Have you played any of them?
I have not. It's just absolutely hectic at the moment. I'm not surprised that Wasteland 3 came to Game Pass, because I think there's a lot of people seem to forget they've actually been bought by Microsoft. And this was the reason why this is out on all the different platforms. I think it was in the Kickstarter and they promised it. So that going to Game Pass was not a big shocker for me. So with the other game, I've got my eye on it, but like Holtz, I'm going to wait till it's out, all the episodes. I hate having to wait. I like binge watching. That's why we've got Netflix. That's why you just wait till everything's out, so you don't have to wait until the next episode's out. So I would be waiting for all of them to be out before I get really stuck into it.
Okay. Did we talk to you, Ben, about this? What's your take on it?
No, not yet. I need to clear up some space on my shadows so I can download them and try them out. My shadow's pretty full right now.
Right. Just so you guys know, you can't play this right now on the whether it's an Xbox game streaming app, right? Because it's not available. You can only play it through Shadow if you have Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate. So just giving you guys a heads up that. So I think that's what Ben is referring to.
Yeah, I got to be able to download it, and I just don't have any room.
Right. Project to you, sir. What's your take on this?
Just like Ben, I'm the same way. It's the fact that I have to now. The download speed is not too bad. I have a gigabit up and down, so it's not that bad. But it's still like the convenience of cloud gaming, man. It just makes me cringe when I go back to the console scene and have to install everything, or just PC in general. To tell you the truth, like native PC gaming, anything I have to install is kind of like, whoa, I don't have a whole lot of time to wait. I want to get right into it because time is valuable. But when it comes to Wasteland 3, it is something. I do have Game Pass Ultimate, and I would like to try the game. I'm interested in the inventory system, the attributes, skill tree, the perks, and everything like that. So I've been checking it out. And I've been talking to a friend of mine who's a fan of the series. So this might be the one that I might jump into, and I may do that sooner rather than later.
Cool. Again, the fact that if you are a member subscriber, you don't have to pay, the $60. So you can just play this for free.
Right.
Same, with Tell Me Why. Again, this Game Pass model, I think, is really brilliant. So cool. Did we skip anyone? I know the kiddo came, so it kind of threw me off. But if I haven't asked anyone on here, just feel free to jump in about your take on this. If not, we're going to move to Google Stadia, which I am really excited to talk about today because, again, a lot has happened for Stadia this week. If you guys didn't hear, we're getting not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 pro freaking games for Stadia, which is absolutely insane, right? So I just want to talk to the panel and see what's your take. Not only 6, there's still more, right? We get in early access to Avengers on the 1st, which is a big deal because you guys heard us talk about our frustration with the fact that we couldn't play the beta when it was available for all of the other platforms. But the fact that we're getting early access on the 1st is absolutely incredible for Google Stadia. So just want to check in with the panels and the panel talk about the games that we're getting and see if you guys are excited about these games. Just a lot of them, but I'll list them later. But to get started, Jerry, what's your take on the games that are coming then? We're pro.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we've been getting good news on the Geforce Now side every week. They're getting good games added, and we keep saying, come on, Stadia. And I can't complain this time. They're actually delivering some decent games for pro, and there's 6 of them. And even if not all the games are for you, I feel like this list is kind of a variety of something for everyone, kind of like a scattershot of different types of games to appease a lot of different gamers. And that's exactly what I want to see. Mostly what I'm interested to play on here and compare to some other systems is Hitman. I'm a huge fan of that series. Very funny how Hitman came to Epic for free and GeForce Now right when this announcement came out for Stadia. So, but again, good for content creators because I'm going to be able to do all of this kind of stuff on cloud platforms and not spend very much money. And then people will see the games and you guys will do the same and more people want to play it. So that's the kind of traction that you have to gain. That's the kind of stuff. That's why when we say they need more games, that's what we mean. We need to be able to cover more games, get more people looking at you and get more people to say, wow, did you see him click Hitman and play it in like 3 seconds when he went to his web browser? A lot of people just don't get the convenience of Stadia or how well it really works because there's a lot of negative out there. I mean, and I'll cover negative and positive on them, but this is great news. I love this list of games and I think it's something for everyone. I'm really happy to get these in September.
Awesome. So to list the game, I'm seeing 5 here, so someone can jump in and let me know which one I'm missing. But I'm seeing Hello Neighbor, Metro, Last Light Redux, Ember, Hitman, like we talked about, Bomberman, Super Bomberman.
Gunsport should be one.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's Louise, there's a lot of games. All right, so we're gonna check in with Project. What's your take on this 6 games coming? And are you excited for them?
All right, man. I'm always excited about anything that comes to Stadia Pro. To tell you the truth, some of those games, while being older, I've never jumped into them. Right, so very excited about the fact that I can now play Hitman. I have not completed one of those games yet in the franchise. I played Hitman. I played a little bit of Hitman 2, but I've never completed those games because the backlogs these days are crazy, right?
Right.
So. As far as Gunsport, a lot of members of the Stadia community was happy about this game. They were excited about it. So because they are excited, I guess I'm excited as well. I've looked at it. It seems like something I would play. Seems like a fun type of game that's going to be competitive throughout the community and beyond. And Metro Last Light is the only game that I have not completed in that series. So again, to me, that's like a tremendous value right there because it fills out people's libraries that they don't have time to play that maybe I wanted to play that game a while ago, but I just didn't have time, or the next biggest AAA blockbuster came out and I pushed it aside. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just good to see these titles coming out like that. And Stadia is beginning to show that we're not afraid to drop 6 games. So maybe we may go up to 10 games for November.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
crazy. So I'm excited, man. I really am.
Good. Cool. How about you, Holtz? What's your take on this, man?
Well, Metro are the only games that I keep on deleting off my hard drive to make space for other games. So when I seen this come to Stadia and the previous ones, the Pro model, I'm so excited to dive back in for all the free Metros. I am happy to have Hello Neighbor to add it for my younger family members because they love
Right.
Hello Neighbors on like the Switch and all that. So instant play is a good thing. But me personally, I'm looking forward to have some chaotic fun with Bomberman with that many players.
Right.
I just love the fun of 40 players with like a grid, but now having like 64 players on Bomberman, it's just going to be
It's
a lot
insane.
of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. I think
So-
that's going to, sorry, keep going.
No, good.
No, I think that's going to be a fun game for creators to cover, right? I think they said this is going to have crowd play too, if I'm not wrong.
It's supposed to, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good one to definitely get the community, right, involved. So, yeah, cool. All right, Ben, what's your take on these 6 games coming?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing Jerry said. It's a little bit for everybody. I mean, when I saw that list, I was like, this is awesome. I mean, they're not appealing to just one crowd. They're appealing to literally anybody can play a game that they like on there.
Right.
I can see myself playing Gunsport with a few people. Just seems like a fun kind of late night, end of the day, just unwind kind of game.
True. Yeah. Yeah. That does seem fun. How about you, Mark? What's your take on these games coming?
Yeah, I think this is we've looked at the pro games from months before, and I think there we had like maybe a big but an older game and then an indie game paired with it, and we've had these conversations and gone, I'm not too bothered about either of those, but this is the type of list that we've been asking for, so I'm excited to see this. I think out of those, I'm probably gonna pick up Ember. I think I was intrigued to see that at one of the last Connects. But the thing that stops me picking these up, like when they hit the store, is what we constantly say. Like something comes to Stadia, we're like, that looks really good. I can't wait to get that for Pro. I'm not going to pick it up because I know it's going to come to Pro. And half of this list is stuff that I was tempted to buy, and I thought I'd wait, and now here it is. So
I was going to wait to get to that when we got to the sales, right? Because you see like a lot of those games on there that we're kind of hesitant to buy it first because we know it's either going to come to Pro or go on sale. But yeah, you're right on with that, Mark. I hear you. How about you, Duncan? What's your take on this, man?
I think it's a very good month, not a great month for Stadia Pro games. I think it's thickening in like the library. A couple of these games, Bomberman is one, and Ember are going to be getting crowd play. We know 100% Super Bomberman is. It's not coming at launch by all indications, so it will probably be later on in the month. So there's probably going to be some more trials coming for that. Ember, the devs have actually said that they're looking to actually bring crowd play into that as well. I think what adds into this good week for Stadia is the 20 games which were discovered on the PEGI's ratings board as well. Earlier in the week, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, it was discovered that PEGI had actually changed the way they're actually doing the listings now, and 20 games were picked up as coming to Stadia, and they're a complete mix of games. You've got the infamous Destroy All Humans on it. You've got SpongeBob. You've got Far Cry 5. You've got Far Cry New Dawn, Darksiders 3. We're just seeing like a whole big range of games going to be coming to Stadia. It looks like not in the not so distant future. It looks to me that Stadia is trying to go down the Epic Game model. Epic Game Store model, where they're just trying to fill your library with as many games as possible, so you just get suckered into, not suckered in is probably the wrong word, but you get invested into the platform, so you feel like you're going to stay there in the ecosystem. So I think it's been a great week for Stadia, and we've got the stuff coming next week as well. It's been pretty good for them.
Yeah. Again, So many games, right, to play, a lot of things happening. But Duncan, do you think this is inching closer to where it's like a Game Pass like model, to where you pay, a certain amount for Stadia's $9.99, for Ultimate Game Pass is $15, but then you have all these games that you can play at your disposal. What's your take on that?
I think they're sticking things to the wall to see what, just to see
What's
what is
this?
sticking.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's actually more Epic Games library where they're just trying to thicken it out. So you're all, how many games have we got in the library now? I think someone has said, I think it was Avery said this, that half the games on the Stadia library, the full Stadia library, are available or have been available as Pro. So they're just, if you've been there from launch, I think a Game Pass model is possible. With these games discovered as well, I think you're just trying to thicken out the library as quick as they can with as many games as possible.
Right.
And you could just say it, just add in as many games as possible to the Pro, so it is like a semi Game Pass model.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Chief, what's your take on this, man?
I quite like the analogy to the Epic Store. Obviously, Epic doesn't provide a subscription, but they have the free game or a couple of free games every week. That's obviously enticing people to go and check them out, and they're getting quite more regular on their sales as well, and randomly giving people 10, 20 quid discounts to just buy a game of their choice. So I think both stores are kind of edging towards that model. So I think Stadia is onto something, because obviously Epic's doing pretty much similar. So they've been around for quite a while. As far as the Pro game's concerned, I already have Ember. I bought it as a draw for my kids to play, but it was too difficult for them to play, even though they kind of play the stretchers on Switch, which is like an ambulance version of Ember, I would say. But yeah, Hello Neighbor. I've never seen my kids so excited. I told them that Hello Neighbor was coming to Stadia.
Right.
They've got it on Switch, so I don't know why they're so excited for the same game to come to Stadia.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that it means they could both play it at the same time and throw things at a random stranger. But hey,
There you go.
Hitman is probably the my biggest favorite out of this group, because
Right.
you're saying about Xcloud getting $60 games. Well, Hitman's a day one release pretty much. I know it's a few days late or a week late from the mainstream release, but that's a pro game coming straight on. So it'd be an interesting one.
This is Hitman 1, right? I don't think it's the...
It's the 2016.
Yeah, I think it's the 2016 Hitman. There's another one coming out in January. I think Hitman.
There's a few Hitmans coming, isn't there? So
Yeah.
maybe I got mixed up there. But the fact that it's coming on Stadia the same week that it's gone free on Epic, they're obviously doing a good drive there. And great from a content creator's point of view, because I picked it up on Epic Store, and also I'm going to pick it up on Stadia, so I can do a direct comparison. And to be honest, I put the 1440 version of Hitman up on the maximum settings rig, and it does look damn good. So it'll be good to see what Stadia can do in 4K. So that'll be a cool comparison.
Okay.
The others, I'm not too fussed with, but it's bulking out the library, as Duncan said. So more games, less for people to moan about.
True. All right, so I want to move to Avengers, right? We know we got the news that early access is coming on the 1st. Just want to know for you guys, how excited are you for this game? Is this a game that you guys are going to pick up? It's supposed to be, again, Marvel, really popular. But some of you guys on here have tried the beta already. So just want to know, are you guys excited for this? Do you think this is a good move for Google Stadia? And what platform are you actually going to pick up the Avengers for? So we'll start with Jerry in this one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Avengers Beta. I played it on quite a few different systems, and I've got it pre-ordered for PC, so I'll be able to play it on there, and I'll also grab it on Stadia, because not only for the comparisons and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hold some kind of hope that maybe crossplay will come one day, or cross-save, to where I'll be able to at least go back and forth. If that doesn't happen, I will mainly play it on PC, which could be Shadow, maximum settings, and anywhere you could play your PC games. I'll be playing it there because the player base for multiplayer is going to be huge, and the game is going to be hugely popular. So that'll be the main place I play it. So any cloud services I use that are PC based, I'll play it there. I'll play it on Stadia some, but mostly for testing. I'm gonna hope the cross save and crossplay comes eventually, so I can play it anywhere. But
Yeah. The fact that this game is missing cross-platform and cross-save is just it's a big missed opportunity for them. But yeah, I hear you. PC is definitely gonna have the bigger player base, I think, so that makes sense. Cool. What's your take on this, Ben?
You know, at first I was thinking I was going to buy it for Stadia, but I started thinking about the crossplay thing and how that's going to kind of make the game, last longer. And I think I'm in the same boat as Jerry. I think I'm gonna end up getting it on PC and then just playing it through Shadow.
Okay. How about you, Project?
Well, listening to both Jerry and Ben, it was an interesting take that that Ben had because that Jerry had because he had already tried it on multiple platforms. So that right there gave me better insight on like how the game performs, and that he was impressed that it was impressed by the game on multiple platforms. That kind of like and see, I watched my son play it, and he tried it on PS4, right? And I saw it, and I was like, wow, this looks cool. I could see it roping in the millions of Marvel's fans who are interested in whatever. And then now you got people who are becoming more interested in cloud gaming every day, right?
Right.
So I think I might get it on Stadia just to kind of showcase it for that base, that fan base or whatever. I might just do that because for me it's easier to get set up and stream things at the highest resolutions on Stadia. For me right now, like but we'll get into that a little bit later on at some point, I think, man, because I wanted to ask you guys a question pertaining to Geforce Now, but we'll do that later.
Sure. Okay. Duncan, what's your take on this?
I'm glad it's coming to Stadia day one, and we've got a proper time for it. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
We've got a time.
True.
With the Avengers, with the crossplay, I'm not that worried about the game on Stadia because I'm not sure if you are aware that if you don't have a full squad, they chuck in some AI to it as well. So it's not as big as a concern as some other games, multiplayer games in Stadia. So I think I'm going to pick it up in Stadia because of the patching and all that. Because it's going to be an ever-evolving game. Because it's going to be a bit like Destiny, and there we mentioned Anthem. So I think we should just. I'm going to keep my eye on it, and I'm going to get on Stadia.
Okay. Cool. Chief, you?
I'm quite hyped for it. I think one of the only or decent looking Marvel games that's come to kind of PC and multi-platform for some time. They always seem to be kind of like mobile games rather than kind of more the full-blown PC game. So I definitely want to be trying it. As others, I'm worried about Stadia because of the cross-platform stuff. Yes, AI teammates, great. Actual players, a lot better generally. Ghost Recon springs to mind. But no, the fact that it's coming out such close proximity to Super Bomberman 64 on Pro is going to mean to me that one of them multiplayer is going to be dead. And Super Bomberman 64 great, but again, are there going to be enough players to fill a 64-player server consistently beyond launch day? And then are you going to see the same problem with Avengers where you get all that multiplayer in the first 2-3 days from launch, and then as we see with multiplayer across Stadia generally, it kind of disappears. So I think that most people would probably try and gravitate to Super Bomberman because it would be a bit quicker.
Yeah.
So I'll probably go on the Steam side and play on one of the cloud rigs, whichever one performs the best.
Okay. I think also something to take into consideration is Bomberman is a pro game, so it's probably going to get more people, on it. I can see people, again, Marvel is a very popular franchise, so people might shell out the cash if it gets good reviews in Stadia, but the fact that, Bowman's a pro game that's free to pro members, I can see the online being more populated than Avengers. But who knows? We can be surprised by how well Avengers sell on Stadia. Who knows? But
I
yeah,
think that's
good
the
point.
last point that we don't really know about, as well as the cost. If that comes out at 60 quid on Stadia and 50 quid on Steam, you know, it's going to
For
make that
Avengers?
even harder
Yeah.
pill to swallow.
True. I'm assuming it'll be 60 all around, but I don't know. How about you, Holtz? What's your take on this?
I'll be definitely playing it on Stadia. I want to support Stadia as much as I can, so I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And even if it drops, at least I can say that at least I supported.
Right.
And to me, I don't mind AIs, like I said last week, as long as they can maybe have other people's ghost saves. So if I've got all your ghost saves, I can feel like I'm playing with you. So even I'm not actually talking to you, it'll still help with my experience of enjoying the game. And then with hope, hopefully it expands with real gamers over time.
Right, right. Yeah, me personally, I'm gonna play it on Stadia for sure because my gaming friends right now, I used to be heavily on the PS4, but now most of my gaming friends are on Stadia, and I feel like that's gonna be a fun game to play with friends on Stadia. But performance-wise, right? I know we're gonna get into that when it comes to Geforce Now, but I also think performance-wise, based on what we've seen from Shadow, right? It was just not a great experience overall. And I think Stadia might actually perform better than Shadow. I don't know if it's going to come on GeForce Now. That's going to be one to keep an eye out for sure. But did we talk to you, Mark, about this topic? What's your take on this, man?
I've pre-ordered it for PC. I did that probably within 5 minutes of watching the last War Table. I just got sucked in by their marketing. They're hella good at that. Played in the betas, which I then had some regret of dropping money straight away. Maybe I should have waited to see some of the beta gameplay. I haven't seen the later stuff. Obviously, the performance that we've already talked about is what immediately worried me. Even as we said, I tried it out on Shadow Infinite tier, Titan RTX. It's whether it's the CPU, the thing runs 100% on CPUs. Tested it on maximum settings as well. Their 2080 Super Rig, bit better, still stuttery, but it's difficult for me because they're in Canada. I'm in the UK, so it's testing for me on that rig is always kind of spotty. I'm super interested to see the Stadia one though, because one, as you said, performance. If it can outperform the other systems available, then that's, it's definitely a gold star for Stadia. The multiplayer stuff, not too concerned about. As you said, massive game. Marvel fans are going to flock to it. I don't think finding players to play with is going to be too much of an issue for Stadia. Even if it is, the AI we've talked about on this isn't standard AI. It is taking your gameplay, the style of your gameplay, and also the loadouts from your other characters, so it will play with your equipment in your style. Sometimes that can be better than playing with real people, man. Real people suck. You get somebody who's just joined the lobby, walked away, and they're stuck at the start. I'll take an AI.
Yeah, no offense to little kids, but also playing with little kids because it's going to be an Avengers game too.
Shouting down the mic, yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, this is one to definitely keep an eye on. All right, Chief, take over. The little one is coming again.
I was completely unprepared for that. So we'll move on. Maybe. So we've got Avengers coming. So Winbound launches was probably the next one. I know we've had a few people mention Winbound on this. I think Holtz, we'll start with you.
It's a game that I wanted to love. I totally love Breath of the Wild. And in Breath of the Wild, I like the way you can go your own direction. And I can make my own mistakes. And I thought Winbound would do exactly the same. But the only problem with this game, it punishes me too much for my mistakes. And it takes away the whole fun of it for me. And like I was trying to say, I was getting poisoned because I had rotten fruit. I was falling off cliffs. I was jumping into the water and I couldn't find my boat fast enough. I was depleting stamina, and I was like, it's great if you like that survival aspect of it, the game. and actually
Right.
good. But for me, I just find all these simple mistakes was just affecting me having fun.
Right.
But overall, it's a beautiful looking game. It's very enjoyable. The music is lovely. It's just a shame that I can't get into it as much.
Right. So, Project, have you tried Winbound yet?
I have not tried it, but I do want to.
Okay.
It's a game that I like that comparison to Zelda, whether that be
Yep.
Wind Waker or whatever version of it. But I like that. But it's something about that game that seems more updated. Like the graphics are definitely impressive. I like the art style that they chose. You know, some of the encounters that you might have with certain beasts and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of like listening to what Host just said, and I'm trying to get feedback from the community. Some people are loving it, and
Right.
what Host just said, I have to take that into account because I don't want to be frustrated by a game, you know, right now. So the best way to do it is to try it myself. So it's at $29.99 US, man. I there's no excuse for me not to jump on it, you know. So I will be trying that out.
Okay.
On Stadia.
Well, and don't forget for people that a lot of people still have a $10 credit on Epic.
That's true.
So
Oh,
check
yeah.
your credits
True.
from their summer sales, and in that case, your game might only be 20 instead of $30.
That's
True.
a good point.
And also the Stadia $10 credit too, which I
Yep.
still haven't used either. That's a
I
good
did.
point.
Quickly.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Cyberpunk for that one, but we'll see. How about you, Jerry? What's your take on Windbound?
Okay, so I saw Holtz in Discord, and I was literally about to buy it to try it out, and I said, "Wait a minute!" And I started going and looking at some gameplay, and this game will make some gamers happy, but I can tell just from watching enough gameplay that if you don't love Ark Survival Evolved, Dark Souls, punishment when you mess up, and all that kind of stuff, you're not gonna probably enjoy this kind of game. So
Yeah.
it's not really going to be a game for me. I'm going to say something I try not to say here on the podcast is I'll probably wait and see if it goes on Pro for Stadia or really cheap somewhere else and then just try it for myself. But I've seen enough and heard enough to know that for my kind of play style, though it's probably just not something I'm going to enjoy enough to dive into. And if I try to make a video about it and I'm not having fun, it's a waste of my time. It's not going to be good for anybody. So I'm going to hold off on that.
Okay, good point. How about you, Mark? What's your take on Windbound?
Dude, I was excited for this one before we heard Holtz talk about it, before we saw some of the reviews, because of that comparison. What have you done, man? It was because of that comparison to Breath of the Wild, and I'm literally replaying that at the moment. So I'm in that kind of frame of mind, and I'm looking for games in that genre. So that's why I was going to check it out, and I was even going to pick it up on Stadia. It was going to be the first thing I bought on Stadia for a long time because I've still got that £10 credit. But I 100% know I do not have the patience for that kind of punishment. So yeah, I guess we'll go back to our classic catchphrase.
Right.
I'll see if it comes to Pro.
Duncan, what's your take on Winbound?
I like it. I haven't got that deep into it yet. I'm playing it in baby mode, the storyteller mode, whatever it's called. It's not as punishing. I've died a couple of times. I got killed by a baby boar and stuff like this. So, but I'm enjoying it for the most part. I think I need to get a bit deeper into it to see if it's as bad as everybody says, but it's for me. I'm not taking it too seriously. I'm messing about, and I'm enjoying it. So I might be an outlier on this, unfortunately.
Man, I have to test this game out. I don't think I'll like it personally, but it's still a game that I want to test out. But Ben, how about you? What's your take on? Have you tried Windbound at all?
I haven't tried it. No.
Okay.
I saw Holt's messages and I saw a couple other people doing that, and I'm like, seems way too frustrating.
Holtz, I think you've just saved a lot of people some money, bro.
I'm gonna get a Twitter off someone just saying.
Chief, have you tried it? What's your take on it?
Nah, it just even the art style alone is not really my genre, and I've died enough in Mortal Shell to tie me over for the next 50 years, I think. and then Hitman is also just as punishing. So yeah, I've had my fair share of deaths in games this week, so I really don't want to add another one to the pile.
Okay, makes sense.
One more thing I want to add into it is priced accordingly. It's £25, so which is $30, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're 29.99.
yeah, so it's at a good price point. It's not ripping the backside out from it. So it's, if you're tempted, it's not going to break your wallet too much compared to some of the other titles.
That's
But
true. Great.
you know what though? You know what, Ace, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Just going back to what Hope said, it makes me want to take on a challenge now for some reason, man. It really does. It makes me want to go out there and see if I can accomplish a mission.
The
Right.
crafting's really good. You know, you can craft like slingshots, you can craft weapons and extra stuff. You know, if that's and then cater for other people's play styles. So if you want a challenge, you know, pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, definitely a good thing to do.
Yeah. It's like those Souls games, right? It's hard to play, but once you get done, man, it's like a huge accomplishment.
Oh
So,
yeah,
yeah, Storm, you should do it, man.
yeah. I
Probably one of
completed
the
Bloodborne.
first.
I mean,
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we're going to move on to the sales, right? Again, this is an interesting one because we always talk about here to know if we should just wait for a game to go on sale or wait for it to go on pro, because Google just tends to put everything eventually on pro or on sale. But a couple of good games stand out here. Just F1 being a really big one for $38.99 USD. And again, here comes Breakpoint still on sale again, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Just Dance, the list goes on. But what's your take on the pro deals that's happening right now for Google Stadia? Are you guys excited about this? We are going to start off with Project Storm on this one.
man, I'm so happy you picked me first. I will say, I'm looking at the F1 2020. That is a tremendous value because that game is amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. I'm talking about just running that game. I saw some guy on YouTube. He did a comparison with native PC gaming. And I forget what settings he said it was at, but man, that game holds up very well. So I'm happy to see that on sale. And anybody that's like remotely interested in racing or whatever, especially simulation racing, pick that up. It's a great game. And you know, are you going to go down the list or you know?
Just whatever sticks out to you.
And then like the other games, the cool part about it is I own every game that we're going to discuss except that's on sale, except Just Dance 2020. That's the only one.
Do
it. Don't lie.
Yeah. I think it's worth it.
Are you sure you don't have Just Dance, bro?
Sure.
I don't have it. You know what? You know, Brian over at, in the state community, man. Brian is the one. He's the go-to person. I would rather see him play than me try.
He's got it on Switch. He doesn't need it on Stadia.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have Just Dance? Like, what's wrong with Dance? I've got Just Dance. What's wrong with you guys?
I've got Just Dance as well.
I have on Switch, yeah.
And you use your phone? You use your phone with it? It's absolutely spot on. It's a good laugh.
I think I will pass. But thanks, Doug.
Duncan live streams that I'm watching.
What's your take on this, Ben? All these wonderful sales come into Google Stadia. Are you excited about them? Ben is gone. How about you, Jerry? What's your take?
Yeah, actually, this is almost the identical sale from last week, except they added F1 2020. And what's hilarious is in our podcast last weekend, we said, man, we wish F1 2020 was on sale, right?
Exactly.
But we said, oh, it's too soon. It's too soon. Well, apparently it was only about a couple days too soon because then it got added to the sale list. So just like Project Storm said, that's a definite. I've grabbed it. I haven't gotten to play it yet, but I've watched a lot of gameplay videos. It looks amazing. I also want to compare it to my local PC and things like that. But yeah, a great game. So F1 2020, grab that. And like I said, same thing as last week. If you want a quick pick up and play Darksiders Genesis and Trials Rising, if you don't already have them, check those out along with that. That's most of what I can recommend off that list.
Yeah, Jerry, I finished Darksiders as well, man. A lot of people might be sleeping on that one, Ace, but I love that game. I love it. It was my first one in the franchise ever completed.
Nice. Yep. It's a good game.
That was like one of the I would call it double A title that came to Stadia after launch. A lot of people were looking forward to it. It's kind of been forgotten with Guild as well, right? Because they were one of the first games, but still a really great game for sure. So thanks for recommending that. How about you, Mark? What's your take on these pro games?
Yeah, kind of what Jerry said. Like, if you had told me you had just copy and pasted this list from last week,
Right.
I would have believed you. Other than obviously we said F1 is the only one that sticks out to me. I'm not a racing guy myself. I don't mind watching it. So if anyone does a stream, then I'll happily just jump into one of your guys' ones. The only one I'm thinking is Breakpoint. If they need players in that, so that's not enough of a discount. That's got to be one of those, like, have they made a mistake type prices? You know what they did with like NBA when it was $2? It's got to be one of those to get people into it because the players just aren't there and they need to bump it up somehow. So that, what is it, like a $10 discount or something? It's just not enough.
Yeah. I think the division went as low as $9, right? I think that's the price point they gotta reach for people to jump on that game.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
Breakpoint for $12 like 3 weeks ago on a sale. Yeah.
Exactly.
Breakpoint was 12?
Yeah, it was $12 on. Yeah, that's when I grabbed mine. Yeah.
This is one of the higher editions
Yeah.
that they have on sale right now, so it comes with a lot more stuff. So not a great sale, but it does come with more gear and everything, more DLCs.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Did we get to you about this, Holtz?
I think it's a great price for Formula One. I said I'm happy to see that drop. But my logic is it's going to follow exactly the same like Grid. So we're going to a reduction now. In 2 months, we're going to have a further reduction. And in 5 months, it's going to be free for Pro just before Grid 5.
So you're saying wait for that?
You're so patient.
Yeah, I think it's going to go exactly like Grid. And I bought Grid. I bought the Season Pass and loved it. But then a few months later, when everyone was like, yes, we got Grid for free on Pro, I was like, oh, well done for you. So now I'm actually the person now going, well, I'll wait for Formula One. I have faith.
Yeah, I too can see that being a pro game down the line for sure.
I have it. I already have it on PC on Shadow, so
okay.
I'm waiting it to go on further reduction of Pro for Stadia.
Right. If you already have it, no need to double dip for sure. I mean, same game, different platforms, so you should be good. How about you, Chief? What's your take on the pro deals?
Yeah, I got bitten by Breakpoint. I bought Breakpoint Ultimate, pretty much just after Stadia release, I guess. It was my first major purchase, so I think I paid 60 quid for that with a year pass and then watched the game die after my 60 hours investment. So, Formula One, like Mark, I'm not a massive racing game fan. I didn't like Grid initially. I refunded it after I purchased that, especially after having Breakpoint. So to see it come back as pro a few months later, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I'll give it another shot and I could get into it. But with the Crew 2, much more arcadey, I found that much more fun. I think I would probably pick up Formula One if it went on pro, but I don't think the discount at the moment is enough for me to pick it up, especially with all the other games going on right now. It's just, I think I'm struggling to play any of the games I've got, and my library is just growing day by day, week by week, and everything's just backing out.
Yeah. No, good point. And Holtz, I think you hit it right on with this. I definitely, again, can see this coming as a pro game. Maybe not 5 months. Maybe I would say even in 3 months, really. So I'm going to wait. The reason being, I mean, we're talking about 6 pro games coming out this month alone. And you're talking about probably 4 or 6 coming out. I mean, and if you have other platforms like Game Pass and all that stuff, just a lot of games out there right now. So I wouldn't even have time to play this. So I'm not going to shell out $30-some to, get something I probably wouldn't even touch realistically. But I think it's good, again, for the people who have been looking forward to F1. Hey, you can buy it for $38. But as far for me, I'm not going to get it. But Ben, just want to check in. You kind of cut off. What's your take on this?
I mean, I think it's great that FIFA is on sale, or not FIFA, F1. I wish FIFA was out already. I think it's great that it's on sale. I don't know that it'll go pro. I mean, again, it's It'd be cool if it does the same thing Grid did, but 16 players as opposed to 40. It's not as crazy of a race. Breakpoint, I just feel like it's not the best sale we've had on it, but
Right. Yeah. True. Good point. All right. So we're going to move into let's see here. I think the next segment is Geforce Now. And as you guys know, man, this is crazy. If you guys didn't know, sorry to put this in the show, but I'm trying to like multitask at its finest. So if you guys see me going off, just know that's why. I'm watching two cameras and it's crazy. Anyway, just moving on. GeForce Now, right? Let's talk about that. 9 games was added to the GeForce Now platform. And man, something that I think is really cool is the free games that you get with Epic. And we get a lot of comments in our videos about, hey, is there any free cloud game platforms that I can play, right? And is there anywhere I can play free games? And to let you guys know, if you go on Epic Game Store and subscribe to them or whatever, creating a login ID, you get free games on a weekly basis. And then GeForce Now has a free tier that you can use to play those games. So realistically, you can play games for free in the cloud. So that's the answer. But to get to those 9 games, I think, again, a lot of great ones to talk about here. We have the Control Ultimate Edition, which is same day release, right, as Steam and Epic Game Store. We have Surgeon Simulator. We have Hitman, which is another free game on Epic Game Store. Shadowrun Collection, which was also free. We have Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry, and we have Blasphemous and Rayman's Origins. Any of those games stick out to you guys on the panel? Have you guys picked up any of these games? Have you played in GeForce Now? So to get started with that, let's go with Holt. What's your take on the 9 games coming to GeForce
Well,
Now?
I was so happy to get Hitman through the Epic Store, but I didn't claim the other free game because I think I've got like digital OCD. I don't just click everything for free because I want everything to look nice in my library. So I only select a select amount of games. But I was really happy to see Rayman Origins. I really love that game. It's so by UbiArts,
Right.
so colourful, so fun to play. I'm happy to have Origins next to Legend on my GeForce Now.
Nice. How about you, Duncan? What's your take on these 9 games?
I like the trolling, to be honest with you. There's so much trolling going on here with the Hitman being free and Epic and magically going on to GeForce Now. And next week we've got Into the Breach, which is coming to Stadia by just the way things are going, and that's being a free game. I just love that sort of thing. What I do like about this as well is there's the tie-up between Epic Game Store and GeForce Now seems to be getting stronger each and every week. Like you've been saying there, if you want to go try some cloud gaming for free, the match made in heaven is GeForce Now and the Epic Game Store. What I say every week, you may not like the Epic Game Store, but if you claim them free games, I'm the opposite of Holtz. If there's a free game going, I'm going to claim it. I just like expanding my library, but I recommend that everybody pick up the games on Epic Games Store because you never know what you're going to feel like in a year's time or anything, because any of these games could be just added at a random time to GeForce Now.
Right. True. Project, have you tried any of these games? 9 games released in GeForce.
No, but I too am interested in the Rayman. I love that series or whatever. But Control has been a game that's been sticking out for a while now, and I guess I missed a couple sales when it went on sale because I wanted to jump into that game for the RTX features.
Right.
So just that alone has me interested in finally being able to just jump into that. So that might be my next purchase when it comes to GeForce Now. Hitman, I see right here. What this makes everything very interesting for me because I know it's coming to Stadia September 1st, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm like, it's free on Epic Games. Am I seeing this correct?
Yeah.
So I may play it on both platforms. I might do some try to get my best Marchief on and do a comparison or something. You know, I don't. It's crazy, guys. It's mind blowing to me that I could do this at around the same time frame. So.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Duncan, do you think they are trolling? Do you think this is like on purpose, right? Just Geforce Now trying to get Hitman for free from Epic and Stadia, that being a pro game?
Yeah, I think it's not accidental. Some of these deals happen because we've had the Hitman deal there with Geforce Now. If you remember a couple of months ago, what game went on to Xcloud? Journey to the Savage Planet, and who owns them now?
Yeah.
Google.
Right.
And Stadia.
Sure.
I just think it's if not, it's a really strange coincidence that both Hitman is going on to GeForce Now and Stadia at the same time. I'm not sure if we're going to be touching this or not, but also the news from GeForce Now, I'm just double checking our show notes just in case I'm not standing on any toes here, is the Shield update, which is coming next month. I'm not sure if anybody else has seen that. If you own exactly. Yeah, so that's did I step in toes there? Yes.
No, you good. Keep going.
No, the upscaling, that is going to be a massive thing coming next month, because at the moment I think some of the games on GeForce Now actually look better than what's on Stadia, and when this update comes as well, I'm going to be really interested to actually see how that all pans out.
Cool. Ace just had to scoot off a sec there, so I think Jerry.
So, yeah, I was going to say the same thing as Duncan. I don't remember if you guys had that. I think you had it in your video as well. The AI upscaling was probably the thing I was the most excited to see, because I do play a good bit of GeForce Now on my 4K TV with the Shield. So, and I love their AI upscaling on the TV Pro. So that for me was one of the most exciting things of the week, to see that's coming, because like Duncan is saying, some of the games already look better and they're running on kind of like PC hardware. So that's going to be really awesome. Project, definitely Control. If you haven't played Control, you will not regret getting into that game. It's really good, and the RTX functions tend to do really well on GeForce Now. Also, I play that locally here on an RTX 2060, and I play it on GeForce Now. And honestly, a lot of the times, especially for the 1080p 60, it looks about the same. It's done really well. So, Hitman, again, same thing. I've said it a few times today, content creation. I love how friendly a lot of this is for content creation. I don't have to freaking buy Hitman at all to compare it across at least 3, 4, 5 platforms. Chief knows there's a lot of them. There's going to be, so it's nothing out of our pocket, and we get to give content to the community. They can see the games running on different systems, decide where they want to sink their time into without running around and figuring it out themselves. And that's great. So for content creation, and for me personally playing the games, it's fantastic. So Control Ultimate Edition, Hitman, Shadowrun's great. And just like Holt said, big fan of Rayman. So seeing that come, Rayman coming, Origins coming to GeForce Now is also really good. A lot of people commented on that too. A lot of people seem excited about Rayman. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Jerry, you seem like the only person that I've ever heard that, I focus on a content creation element of this whole thing all the time, right? When I'm streaming or whatever, I'm always constantly saying how some of these games, while they're old or whatever, they're free and they're good for content creation. So it's cool hearing you say that. And then the other thing is, with Control, yeah, man, it's definitely a game that I really want to jump into, man. So I'm so excited to be able to do that. Now, my question I was going to ask you all earlier, Marchi, if you don't mind, real quick, was that, have you ever had issues with GeForce Now, like crashing or whatever? Because I'm having a serious issue right now with it crashing. I try Hyperscape, and maybe it's just Hyperscape, I don't know. But have you guys any, or do you know any troubleshooting for that real quick?
It's funny you mentioned that, because we've had somebody in our Discord saying that they're having real issues with running GeForce Now in general on Windows. So it'd be interesting to see what you're running on. I've not had any crashing issues. Sometimes I get some stability issues, but there's quite a lot of GeForce Now settings hidden in their kind of custom mark, so you might want to have a little fiddle there. And also just check that you've got a good connection to the data center that it's auto attaching you to.
Yeah, my issue is everything else seems to work very well, very well. And we could talk about this later. I mean, I can, talk
we'll
to you
take
off
it
air,
offline.
but man, yeah,
But something that people kind of keep forgetting about, and GeForce Now do try and pitch it as much as possible, is right next to the search window is a leave feedback button. So if there's any issues, and they do action that quite quickly. So if people are reporting issues with rigs and stuff, they do hop on that. So that is a direct channel essentially to the dev team on GeForce Now. So do use it at will.
got it.
Yeah, that is a rare issue. We get some people every now and then as well commenting that it just won't run at all. I mean, I've run it on 2 laptops, 4 desktop PCs, and my NVIDIA Shield, and I have yet to experience any crashing or latency or other issues. But like Marchief was saying, jumping into those settings and playing around just a little bit sometimes can help as well. Maybe also doing a reinstall and make sure there isn't a conflicting background program, because GeForce Now will get finicky depending on what you got running in the background too on the PC or depending on what device you're on.
Got it. Thanks, guys.
Now you do have the chance of doing it in your browser if you want to. And it does actually work remarkably well. Plenty of guides and stuff. We can have a chat about that offline. But running GeForce Now in your browser is actually a really good experience as well. Mark, what's your take on the GeForce Now games this week?
Yeah, I said it in my video today as well. We've already mentioned it here, that the combination of GeForce Now and the free games from the Epic Games Store, literally you can be building up a substantial library of PC games and play them on a high-powered rig without spending a single penny. And it's more regular content than even, there's good stuff coming to Project Xcloud / Game Pass streaming ultimate whatever. But and a lot of these, even like Stadia Pro, you're getting these games, you're getting them on a monthly basis, so they're much less frequent. Epic, they're not charging you. You open a free account with Epic, and it's just weekly free games. Some of them are hit or miss. Some of them are massive ones like this, like Hitman for free. Just take it, go for it. So that's absolutely amazing. Control Ultimate Edition, I worry there's going to be a little bit of a mini protest on that. 505 Games is having some issues at the moment in terms of justifying why people who bought the first or the main story aren't getting the free upgrade to the next gen, only if you've bought the Ultimate Edition. I think it's even if people have bought the main story and both expansions all individually, they're not getting that free. It's only if you buy this version, this ultimate version, all in one, do they get the upgrade to the next gen. So I feel like there might be a little bit of a mini boycott on this.
Clear about the next gen.
Yes.
Cool.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of greedy, but
It is a
we're
little
not
bit
gonna
greedy.
go there.
We won't go into that one.
Yeah.
Myself, I've used GeForce Now quite a lot. Obviously, Hitman I've been playing. Epic Games, it is a match made in heaven. It's not just those free games every week. Some of them, as you said, Mark, are hit and miss. But they launched Troy, which is quite a big day one release, and they actually, for the first 24 hours, made it free. So anybody who just had an Epic Games account, you could just go claim Troy for free. And now it's at £35, I think it is, back to its original price. So I did jump on that. I'm hoping it comes to GeForce Now. It's not a day one release on GeForce Now, unfortunately, but I can cover it on other stuff. Or it's just in my library for when I get around to actually doing it, or if it gets added elsewhere. Control on GeForce Now Storm is insane. I've shameless plug. There's a few comparisons on the channel for Control. One of them is like maximum settings and GeForce Now. GeForce Now just performs so good at 1920 by 1080. It gives you a 2080 rig, so it's like a native rig. It's fantastic with full ray tracing and everything. So I think GeForce Now is, we've been saying it week after week. It's consistent. They're adding stuff, and they're adding big stuff recently. I am a little bit annoyed about Control in this Ultimate package in general, though, because I bought the original Control.
Right.
And therefore, if I wanted to buy the Ultimate package, I've got to then pay 60 quid again.
Yeah.
And I paid 60 quid for the first game,
Right.
And then they launched these 2 expansion packs. So I think 505 games have been very greedy here.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be buying any expansions. I haven't quite finished the original game, although I'm quite close to finishing that. So I might just finish that and move on.
Right. Now they should give people who bought the original like a discount or a sale towards the new one. It's just it makes no sense at all. But yeah, as far as so I missed that Troy. I remember I was like, oh my goodness, I read it, right? It's free. I was like, I have to remember to do it. I was at work and then I went home, kids took over, went to sleep, woke up and missed the 24-hour sale and I was pissed. But yeah, it's really cool to see them have, killer sales. And you guys know GTA 5 was free on Epic Game Store, like 2 or 3 months ago. So definitely keep your eye out for those games that come there that are free. It's pretty cool. Again, like I stated, right, you can use Geforce Now free base and use that to play free games. Yeah. Someone's gonna say something? All right.
Oh, there's 7.5 million people downloaded Troy in that 24 hours.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yep.
That's insane. That's
Yeah,
insane.
so that
Ace wasn't one of them.
I missed that. I was so bummed out, man. But cool. Yeah. So have we hit on everyone for GeForce Now and the experience for the games this week? I'm assuming, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was just your take on it as you had to run on.
So this is pretty cool because we have one more platform to cover, and there's not a lot of news for Shadows. You guys know every week is the same story. So this is cool, I say, because it's going to give us enough time to chat with you guys in the comments. So if you guys want around this time, just start posting your questions in the comments and we can try and answer them in the last like 15 or 20 minutes. But to get to Shadow News, again, like I stated, there's really not much to talk about here because there's really no news for Shadow. But I want to know for the people on the panel, have you guys been using Shadow this week? I personally have. And just want to check in with you guys, see how that experience has been for you guys and what you guys have been playing on it. So to get started, Jerry, what's your take on Shadow for the week and how has the experience been?
Yeah, I've spent a good bit of time on Shadow as far as prep work. So I've had to clear some space. I do have extra storage with them. I have a couple Shadow accounts as well. So I can kind of spread out and get more things ready to go. So I've tested out Hitman and some other things on there. Kind of like Mark was saying earlier, one of my little things, just playing Fall Guys on my phone, chilling on the couch with Shadow or whatever there. And that works really well. I just have my Xbox controller with my phone mounted to it, my iPhone, since that's what we have here, and Shadow running and play Fall Guys there. Now, the thing is, I just want to put out a bit of a PSA for anyone that may see this. Do not buy Avengers to play on Shadow until we verify it gets fixed. Yes. I don't want anybody pre-ordering or getting Avengers if they're strictly going to be playing on Shadow and nowhere else until we see it come out on launch day and we start testing it out, because me, Mark, Ace had to go check it out because he wasn't sure. It doesn't run. It doesn't work. So just don't do it and wait for it to come out to see if they fix those CPU issues, because it's pretty darn serious. I tried that game on like 5 different builds. Shadow was the only place it wouldn't work, and I thought maybe Mark's higher tier, maybe yes, it'll be fine. No, it's a definite optimization issue in that game. So just kind of wait on that. It's not news, but it's just, if that's where you're going to play it, wait. And I'm saying that to Ben too, because he said he's going to pre-order to play on Shadow. Just wait. Just don't do it yet, Ben.
We'll DM him.
Don't do it yet.
Discord, yeah. Okay. So what's your take on Shadow, Duncan? Have you been playing it? How has the experience been?
I've been playing it for some games, but other games I'm actually finding maybe just a bad network connection. I actually find it a bit iffy this week. For just day-to-day, just messing about, getting prep work done, absolutely fine. But for actual gaming, I've actually had a bit of lag on it, which was a tad annoying. So maybe it was just a couple of days where things were just not 100%. But so everything's okay-ish, but not for big FPSs. All the other games fine. FPSs, I was actually seeing I could actually see a bit of lag on it, but we don't like talking about that.
Okay, interesting. Bit of lag with FPS for Shadow. Huh. I have to look into that one for sure. I think I tried playing Destiny and it was a decent experience, but not the greatest. All right, Storm, have you played Shadow this week, and what have you been playing on it?
All right. So I've installed Flight Sim, but I haven't gotten an opportunity to play it yet. So I've been messing around with a lot of PUBG, man. I love PUBG.
Nice.
However, I get these little hiccups or whatever from time to time. I don't know what it's like. The frame rate. It's something like VSync or something. It feels like a VSync issue. Like the game is playable. I'm able to do what I need to do. But it feels like this is this weird VSync type thing going on. So with Mark here, I was going to ask Mark if he had any tips or whatever, or I just wanted to get Mark's thoughts on Shadow Ghost, and if that would offer me any kind of advantages, because what I'm doing right now is I'm using a external hard drive, like a 2 terabyte external hard drive that I plug in and then it recognizes or whatever, and then I just after a few moments, Mark, you know what I'm talking about, like it recognizes my hard drive, so I don't have to worry about space, y'all. So I've just been trying to install games on Shadow, and it's so cool. So what I do is I'll go to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for PC, games for PC or whatever, and then I'll just start installing. Like I play Gears of War 5 on it, no problems. Nice. I play A Plague Tale Innocent right now. That's what I'm playing. That game is tremendous. It's great.
It's a great game.
You know what I mean? I struggle for words because that game is so good, and people sleep on it. Some people don't know what it is. So I've been playing a lot of that. I've also tried Dishonored 2. So I've been kind of like throwing in older and new games, but everything runs great on Shadow. And Duncan knows, like Duncan has let me know in a tweet that, you know, I could stream from Shadow. I've run Stadia through Shadow. I played Stadia on Shadow, and it's playable. I'm telling you, like just running a speed test it's much better than my own ISP, and I have a gigabit, like I said, through Verizon, y'all. So Shadow is way more consistent when it comes to downloads and speeds and stuff like that. It's crazy.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're having a good experience with Shadow. And we tried to get people to test out these cloud gaming platforms, right? Because again, they all offer the benefits, and I'm glad again that you're having a good experience. How about you, Mark? What's your take on Shadow? What I know, well, you've been playing a lot of it because that's what you mostly play. But how has it been for you this week?
Yeah, it's an interesting point, the Ghost versus the app, because I have just moved to the application from the Ghost. With some advice from Jerry, I built a PC this week for the first time in probably about 10 years. So that was so that I can utilize all of these services properly, because other than, the Ghost was my daily driver, there was nothing else here at my desk where I do a lot of gaming. So that was kind of preventing me from utilizing the other services as much as I would like to, and maybe streaming them as well. So yeah, built myself a rig. That's what I'm on right now. And obviously that has meant going from the Ghost experience to using the application, which let's try and find a good way to put this. I think for some reason, image wise, it's actually a massive improvement, weirdly. I don't know what that is. Maybe just going for, there's the rig that I bought. It's an RTX 2070 Super. Maybe just helps that out compared to, streaming from the little box. But I've been having some audio stuff. I keep having to swap back from low bandwidth mode. And if it starts audio stuttering, then I'll turn it off and it will fix it. And it might start stuttering again half hour later. So turn it back on and it fixes it. This is my first kind of full experience, like day-to-day experience with the app. So I don't know if this is stuff that other people do on a regular basis and it's just become so mundane to them that they don't talk about, or just, some issues with me. I'm using the beta app as opposed to the official. So, the fact that it is beta just means there are things like that in there. So I may give the official a try as well. But yeah, before that, like Project was saying, all of my streams were done. The gameplay was on Shadow and the stream was on Shadow as well. I've done that consistently for about a year now without too many hiccups. If you throw a lot of it at once. I have a lot of peripherals for streaming and stuff. Sometimes that does cause some issues. And that's one of the reasons why I bought the rig as well, just for the streams. The streams are going to live on the rig. Allows me to add stuff like this camera now. And the gameplay is still going to be on Shadow. And then hopefully now, because I've got the rig, I'll be able to stream some of the other services more than I'd been playing before.
It's awesome. Wow. Yeah, again, the Shadow guy, man. If y'all have any questions, throw it his way when it comes to Shadow, for sure. How about you, Holtz? How has the Shadow experience been for you this week?
I have not been playing on this week at all. I've just been overwhelmed with other games, and now I look forward to what games I'm going to play on other services. I think Shadow's just going to be pushed a little bit away. And only it's going to be used as my in case games get heavily discounted, because to me, I'm still hurt that I don't have the other tiers of Shadow. It would have been a powerhouse for me to have the other tiers now for the 4 games, but because it's being pushed back now, I'm just sort of pushing Shadow away a little bit.
Yeah, kind of a bummer, because I know, again, you were really looking forward to the RTX to play Cyberpunk on, right? The Shadow, I mean, you had that set, and the fact that it got delayed is a huge bummer. But yeah, okay. Chief, how has your Shadow experience been for this week?
Yeah, so I'm probably the elephant in the room when it comes to Shadow, because my main driver is a Mac. So I've actually been using the Shadow Alpha client for some time, because I had issues with the official one with my picture quality. So I switched to the Alpha one, which I think the beta and the official ones now actually switched to using Metal to decode on Mac, so that I might start looking to switch back. They've just ditched the game launcher on Alpha. They've switched back to the bog standard launcher because, 1, none of us were using it, and 2, it was buggy as hell. It kept misrecognizing games that were installed, and you'd uninstall games and they'd still sit on your launcher, and it really didn't work very well. But I've had quite a lot of issues with it. Looks like lag. It looks like input lag, where my mouse just stops moving or goes super slow. But when I look at the overlay, I actually get huge packet loss, and I don't know why that is. But now I've had it optimized at 40 megabits per second, and using they call it low bandwidth mode, which is really stupid because it's actually the H.265 codec, which is just higher compression, but it's what most new stuff uses, and that's what Metal uses natively to decode H.256 codec. So nothing's changed from there, and it will just randomly just go really slow. But I don't know why. But Shadow, the other piece of news which is really downheartening for Shadow and makes it harder to, I think, create content for them now, is that they've even moved their boost tier to be February 2021. So whenever we put content out now for Shadow, people go, "Oh, great! When can I get it?" "Oh, 8 months time." "Ooh, why do I want to wait 8 months for this?"
I didn't know that about Boost. So it's now in 2021. They pushed it back.
Yeah, if you go to the site and hit pre-order, it says order now.
Holy smokes!
Get
That's
it
not
February
good.
2021.
Wow.
That is not.
I heard December. I didn't hear February
My
either.
goodness.
So-
What's the point of even pushing Shadow if people can't?
They may as
get
well
it
just take their
next
order
year?
page down at this
My
point, because
goodness.
it's just
Mhm.
it's bad press now.
Wow.
And we're seeing it a lot in the comments whenever we cover Shadow now with comparisons and stuff. It's like, you can't even get this service for 8 months. What's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get a ton of those. How did you even get this? I'm like, well, I mean, I got it back when it was easy.
Right. Right.
I had to wait 2 months, and I thought that was bad.
Yeah,
I was like-
2018. I got mine in 2 days, I think.
Yeah.
There was a time where people got it in 5 minutes,
Wow.
if you can believe that.
The
Now
good
we're at
old
8 months.
days. The good old days.
That's why I'm thinking about canceling in November. Well, my subscription, like I said earlier, my subscription's up in November. So I was looking forward to the RTX Titan tier, and I know that you have to wait for that as a waiting list and all that stuff, but I'm like, man, that's kind of like really why I signed up. So I'm kind of torn between, because Shadow is a good backup PC, and I know that Holt still has it weigh in and everything, but man, I just wanted to throw it out there, Marchi, because I was having weird issues with the mouse as well, and I had to right click or whatever to kind of see my mouse, and it would freeze for a little bit. But hey, man, there's always issues with new tech, so I'm good on that.
Yeah.
When
So
it works, it works well. To be
True.
fair.
Yeah.
True. The thing with that project, if you do cancel, you might have to wait to 2021 to get back on.
Or
I see a lot of people say that they kick themselves for cancelling
Yeah.
because then, you know, a month or so later, things change. They want to jump back in. Oh, and there's the wait.
Yeah, I can tell you, I was one of those people. I actually canceled, and Chief can attest to this. And it took me about a month to get back on, a month and a half. And I was pissed. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I can't get back on." But eventually, I did. So I will
But,
advise you guys, if you have it, be cautious about canceling because it's a huge wait to get back on.
But I think we talked about this before, and I do agree. And it concerns me when we start to see some of these new services. I think somebody's asked a question about maximum settings. So we'll probably talk about that. But we see these other services pop up, the hardware they're starting to introduce, and then we see the delays with Shadow till 2021, and it's last year's tech or even the year before.
Yeah.
We're talking going into 2021 with a tier that still runs the GTX 1080, and then come a month from now, we're going to get 3080s, 3090s, big navis, all kinds of stuff.
Right. Chief, take over real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Holtz, I think, have you got something to say on Shadow?
Yeah, I've said it before, but I only keep Shadow because it's great for iOS. So I can walk around my tablet and connect to other services. So that's why I'm too scared to cancel at the moment.
Cancel.
Yeah, I'm too scared to cancel mine.
Yeah,
but
and that's a good point with iOS.
Well, the thing is, we'll come on to it. I'm using a lot of other rival services that are actually giving me a lot better quality in a lot of instances for Shadow and a lot less latency. And I've got that iOS capability. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. Ace, you got anything to add before we move on to questions?
Yeah, so I've been, again, with the new Game Pass games, Wasteland 3 and Tell Me Why. I've been using a lot of Shadow lately to test those games, and I've stated this before on this podcast. That's how I play most of my Xcloud or Game Pass games, if you want to call it that. And so it's been a really good experience. They run those games pretty well. Haven't had any issues running either Wasteland or Tell Me Why. So if you guys were looking, thinking about ways to play that game in those games in the cloud, look at Shadow. It's not a bad option, but that's about it for me in Shadow for the week.
Can I throw two things out real quick before you go to the questions, just in case somebody has a problem?
Sure.
Because Mark had so many issues before too when he switched over to the PC and then getting Shadow. This is actually his second PC to make this happen. If I also ran the beta app and had audio issues. I don't have any issues with the regular full-blown whatever that app. So check out that release because I even run the high quality audio thing checkbox there and everything, and I haven't had any trouble with it on the main release. I have had some people in comment that they've had trouble even on the main release with audio, and they were only using the audio driver installed by Windows. They never went and got the motherboard audio driver, and that fixed their issue. So if you're having that issue and haven't done that, or if anybody else is, check that out. And for Project, if you have any other issues with your hard drive or your mouse, just something to remember, even if you have great internet speed for yourself in Shadow, depending on what device you're on, especially a PC, your USB controller gets bogged down quickly. It doesn't take much, especially for some less expensive motherboards, for that USB controller not to work well. So anyone running Shadow that starts having peripheral problems on a PC, there's a real good chance that your motherboard's overloaded. Yeah, that's why you had to change up. There's a real good chance that your USB controller is getting overloaded on your PC.
That makes perfect sense, man. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good.
Sorry, I tried to do it quick. I know we got to move on. But I want to be helpful. So.
Yeah, again, that's why I think each member of this panel is awesome, right? They all have their specialties and bring different things. So awesome. Glad that you have that insight, Jerry. All right, so we're going to get into questions, and we have a lot of time, which is awesome. We should be able to take a lot of y'all's questions. And just want to say, shout out, someone super shouted earlier, kind of saw that. Chief, if you can pull that up. Again, just want to let you guys know, if you guys support this podcast, Warlock, thank you for that. If you guys support this podcast, whatever you super chat donate on this podcast goes is split between every member on this panel. So if you see someone or follow someone that's on here and want to support them in this podcast, a good way to do that. So Warlock, appreciate the $5 super chat. It's really cool. All right, so to get into questions, Chief, can you pull that? All right, so
Yeah.
007, I always struggle with this name, says, for when, if there are questions, Mark in the panel, do you see Maximum Sentence as a rival to Shadow? So we'll give that one to you, Mark. What's your take on this?
We can call him Albert. Is his actual name? Or I don't want to say too much because
It's the Shadow guy.
I have a video coming out on Maximum Settings. Speaking with them, like I've been testing their rig. Like I said earlier, they are in Canada, so the latency is above what you would expect. Normal, I think. Like the most you would kind of want to do is maybe 40-50 milliseconds for like top-notch gameplay. Canada to here is 130 milliseconds, but Chief will attest to this. Like the desktop experience, you do kind of feel that moving the mouse around. Once you actually get into a game, it just catches up with itself, and it's very easy to forget that how far away it is and how much latency you were feeling before. Some of it's got its pros, it's got its cons. I feel like with availability, they're gonna, as they grow, as they become more popular, they're gonna struggle as much as Shadow do. It's just one of the things of being a victim of your own success with these things. I think the model may put people off, the pay by hour, but then there's things that people like. The tiers, the processors aren't a bottleneck on these systems. The storage space is ridiculously generous. So people who are used to that 256 gig restriction, uninstalling, reinstalling stuff on Shadow, are just going to be in a completely different world. So yeah, I won't say anymore. I've got a video covering it coming out maybe this weekend, we'll see. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Awesome. Cool. Anyone else want to hop into answering this question?
I know Jerry will, but I'm going to hop in first.
You go first.
I've been using Maximum Settings for quite a while. I have the 2080S rig, 3 terabytes of storage. I've got probably over 20 or 30 games installed right now. I probably should uninstall something because I am going to run out of space at some point, and my Moonlight is looking like a Christmas advent calendar right now. But it is really weird. You really notice that latency on the desktop. It feels horrible. But I play Microsoft Flight Simulator on very high settings, and that's where I've been setting those high scores that Project's going to try and do. And I paid 3 hours of New World at 1440 on Ultra. It is really weird how that lag just disappears in most games. If you play a trigger Twitch shooter like Hyperscape or Rogue Company, you do notice it, not as much as you do on the desktop. But as soon as you go into something like Flight Simulator or New World, it's just like a native rig. It's really weird. And they do pride themselves on the optimization of their CPU and the stuff on there, coupled with the storage. And this is the biggest thing when people compare it to Shadow, that people forget that Shadow is 15 quid a month. Yeah, you can use it as much as you like, but you've only got 256 gig of storage. And if you are lucky enough to buy that extra storage, that's an extra £3 per month per 250 gig. So if you scale that up even just to a gigabyte, you've just doubled your monthly cost of Shadow. So if you compare it to Maximum Settings, their pay per hour is Canadian dollars, by the way, so it is cheaper than it looks as well. And I think I found the break even was around 80 hours a month. So if you game more than 80 hours, then yeah, something like Shadow and stuff is going to be a lot better for you. But if you don't, or even if you just take a month off, it's going to be cheaper. So don't be afraid of pay per hour models until you've figured out how much you're actually going to use it.
Yeah, use case, definitely, right? So depending on the hourly matters, and you're right on with about the 80 hours for their highest tier there. I have the 2080, the 1080, and the 5700 XT. And prices are not bad, especially on the AMD side. It's like 50 some cents or something like that an hour for me, but it's really not bad. Desktop experience, Shadow's the winner no matter what. If you're looking for that smoothest desktop, you want to create content like Mark has done for so long just on Shadow, he wouldn't really like that experience on maximum settings as much, but for gaming, it's fantastic. And the fact that Moonlight ties into the NVIDIA card directly to stream this game to you, that's why you guys are losing that lag as soon as you go into the game, because the experience of going directly from the GPU for your streaming blows away any other connection to the cloud gaming. And I think that's why Geforce Now oftentimes runs so darn well also, because of the way they have that set up. So yeah, don't be scared of that pricing. Look at what your use case is. Maximum settings games, great, especially the NVIDIA builds. They're amazing. And you don't get any pixelation. I don't get any stutters. It just looks like my local rig most of the time. So it's just, look at what you're going to need it for. And yeah, that storage, man, I don't have to reload games to test. I just keep downloading them. I'm like you. I probably should start taking some off soon, but
Cool. Anyone else from the panel want to answer this? So 007, I think 3 people answered. So I hope you got your answers, from all of that. All right. So we have another question. Do you guys think Sony will ever get serious about PS Now? Make it compete with Game Pass? I'll just hop right in because my kids are okay right now. So let me answer before things get crazy. Yes, I do. I think they see what Xbox is doing with Game Pass. I think they see Google Stadia as a competitor, whether they want to admit it or not. I mean, we saw the changes that they made right before Stadia was released, with lowering the price tag and starting the model of bringing and taking the first-party exclusives away from the PlayStation Now store. So yes, I do think, we still haven't heard about what the PS5 features are going to be or what they're going to bring to the table. And I think around when they start of building that, they're going to talk more about PlayStation VR and PlayStation Now. And so I think we're going to see some major changes come to PS Now so they can compete with the Game Pass and even Google Stadia. But anyone else on the panel want to answer this?
I really hope so, because I really want to play Ratchet and Clank, Gran Turismo.
Oh
I really want to play Spider-Man Miles Morales. There's so many games that I'm hoping just go, Sony, just please take my money, put them on the service, and make me a happy cloud gamer.
I feel the same exact way.
Did you see the news today?
No.
That's why I'm pointing at you, because I'm pretty sure you're going to confirm what I heard.
Okay, let's hear it.
You don't need to worry about PlayStation Now games going, or PlayStation Now, because Sony are bringing all their first party to PC.
Say what?
That's even better, isn't it?
Yep. It was in their records today, their statement that they are going to be bringing their first party to PC. And that is actually written down. I can find the tweet here shortly if you want to actually retweeted it out.
Awesome.
Saw the same thing. They're gonna have more of those first party games coming over to PC. I think the reception was I think it was well received, man. And it makes me want to go and buy Horizon Zero Dawn, because the game is just freaking, like, it's beautiful already, and Death Stranding, and so I could see it making sense for them.
Oh my goodness, that is huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. And yeah, wow, it's pretty cool. Thank you for that, Duncan. Anyone else want to add to this?
just super excited.
Yeah, it is.
I saw that earlier today. I knew Duncan was probably going to be coming out with that, or I saw Chief out there. I'm like, PC, PlayStation PC, come on.
How cool.
So
man.
excited for that. Will it affect the PS Now service like he had asked? I don't know. Hopefully they will have a cloud gaming way to do that eventually, but just bringing it all to PC, just yes.
Well, I hope they have a Play Anywhere option, same like Microsoft, so I can go to a PSN client on the desktop, click buy, and then I got me PlayStation and PC.
True.
Even if it's only a little bit more.
Yeah. Shadow's looking really impressive right now, if that's the case, because that's how, just like I do with my Game Pass games, that's probably how I'm going to be playing all these PlayStation games if it becomes available. But they do need to update the tier because, again, if they put next gen games up, then Shadow's giving us 10, old as heck specs. We can't handle those games, but yeah, this is really cool.
And we
Again.
definitely need more hard drive space for the PlayStation 5 games.
Well, Holt's good news in the UK, mate. We have got some big options coming.
Oh,
The UK, man. You guys have so many cloud gaming services
I know,
popping over. It's insane.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Royal Cloud Gamer, Cloud Gamer.
Just before we move on, shout out to Storm.
I think Duncan
Thanks,
wants
man.
to say something real quick.
He's muted.
Okay. Go ahead, Dunk.
Yeah, I was going to say, shout out to Storm first. You do that because he's doing mad things here.
Wait, well, what did you say about Shadow? Didn't catch the full thing.
What was it about Shadow? Is it just to get it back on top of about PlayStation Now? Yeah, they're going to be kicking off that soon. I'm expecting that one of these events in the lead up to PlayStation 5, they're going to go, this is our strategy for PlayStation Now going forward. Plus, they've got that patent out there, which is a state share sort of patent. So I think we're going to see some serious stuff from Sony going forward.
That's awesome. That seriously has me excited, man. Has me really excited.
Agreed. Shout out to Alfred as well, because there's a $5 super sticker.
We're going to get down there. Just to that point, we need to pick up on this as we've spent quite a lot of time.
I'm too excited about PlayStation. We got to go.
Yeah, let's go. Next one.
Yep. I was just going to confirm what Duncan said. What we've heard about them doing PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, possibly by a VM, and we've already seen stuff about them doing PS5 demos without downloading content. So it's got to be something in the cloud. So we know there's something coming.
Right. For sure. It's exciting. All right, Chief, next question. Is that
Shout out to Victor, long-term follower. Should I put AAA categories into the same category of the do I wait for it to come free or on sale on Stadia?
That's the question.
That's a great question. I
don't have an answer.
I know.
It's if you're patient or not. Holtz will wait 6 months for a game. If I wait a month, I'll probably never play it.
No, because
I gotta have it now.
If it's games that I really want,
right?
Yeah,
it's games that I really want, I'll support the platform. So if that was a new Final Fantasy, new Assassin's Creed, FIFA, I'm straight in. I won't tell anyone to wait for the discount.
Right.
It's just certain other games that I think, should I, shouldn't I? Just at a lower quality. Not AAA, just in between like AA to AAA.
Okay.
For me, if it's an Ubisoft game, you have to buy it because it's never going on sale or it's never becoming a pro game. All the any other ones, work away on.
Unless you got Uplay Plus, and then you don't need to buy.
There you go. That's another option too. But yeah, that's another question, right? Why aren't we seeing any Uplay games on Pro membership for Stadia? It's really interesting. I mean, how
That's
many
a whole
times?
podcast in itself.
Yeah, seriously. All right, let's move on. Have you played PGA 2K21 and Stadia? Anyone on here? I've seen a lot of no's.
I wanted to pick it up, but on the day, it didn't come out at the same time, and then a lot of people had any bugs, and it just made me think, I don't want to be a tester of it first, so I'm going to wait a little bit to see.
Right.
I think Sunny might have. It might be worth checking Sunny's channel.
Yeah, he covered it. He does a first look on most Stadia games. So if you guys are wanting to see what first look on Stadia game looks like, he does that. So yeah, Mark, you're right on that one. Go ahead.
And I've got it on Steam now, so I'll probably have a look at it on Steam.
We were just talking about, I was gonna get in Stadia and do a comparison video, so you guys might see that. But personally, I'm probably not gonna play it much. Happy says, Cloud Gaming Extreme, what do you think about Stadia making a Christmas deal, like 3 months for Stadia and 1 Chromecast and 1 new controller, 1 PS5? So, Sabrina, everyone probably is aware of the new Chromecast / Apple TV dongle thing that they're making. We've talked about that on this channel as to we might see some deals with that, maybe having a controller in 3 months with Google Stadia Pro with that. But I do think come Christmas, I don't know if it's going to be in physical stores, but they might sell it on, in the Google store. But I can see them running a lot of promotions. Most companies do. But it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with for sure with this.
I'm hoping for an Android TV bundle with Sabrina or something.
Yeah.
If not, it's a missed opportunity.
That'd be dope. Jerry, what's your take on that question?
Yeah, everybody's going to be doing holiday sales. I would like to have faith and say that Stadia is going to have some killer holiday sales. You just got to get your controller and your Chromecast or your Sabrina, your Android TV situation. Everything's going to be great. But I'm skeptical of what their marketing is going to do and what their advertising is going to be like, because it's going to have to be big. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S are coming out. New GPUs are coming out. Geforce Now is going to be getting upgrades that people are going to be talking about. So Stadia, I really hope that they do some good marketing for this holiday season and don't just kind of get pushed to the side, because they have so many good fall games coming. It's not like last fall. They do have a lot coming. So they need to get people to look at the service.
So here's how you can tell if Google Stadia is serious about Stadia marketing, right? If they bring back those commercials with the high guy who is high on whatever and talking about Stadia, then you know that they're not serious. So let's cross our fingers and hope that's not the campaign they bring back for this Christmas, man. Because that was just terrible.
I really hope, and we mentioned this in past podcasts, I want limited edition theme controls with the game, with a digital copy of the game and a theme controller. So I want like maybe a frosty blue Valhalla controller with Assassin's Creed. That will make me put my hands in the pocket.
Yeah.
Imagine do what the consoles do. Special edition stuff. People buy it.
Right. A yellow like Cyberpunk Google Stadia controller. That'd be dope. That'd be really dope.
I would take a nice RTX 3090 card when they drop. I would take one of those from EVGA. That would make my whole year. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So yeah, that kind of leads on to the question that we got up here of what are you guys most excited about hardware-wise? New consoles, new GPUs, new streaming tech?
What am I... That's a who wants to take this first? I guess the project you started on it.
I threw it out there because I was reading this, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like the 3000 series cars are coming, and I'm very excited about those. Now, I'm not so excited about the price tags and stuff like that yet, but I mean, you got to pay for the performance, I guess. And from what I'm hearing, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, they're saying, I'm hearing rumors or buzz about these cars being about close to 40% faster than the RTX 2080. Is it the TI or the 2080? I'm not sure. So
the 2080 base.
Oh, 2080 base. All right. Yeah. Well,
20 to 30 for the TI version, which still gonna, but that doesn't account for the actual RTX jump in performance you're gonna get because it's a new architecture as well. Yeah. So even when like Ryzen came out and just destroyed their FX series, it's not all gonna be about those kind of numbers. This new architecture and the way it's gonna handle ray tracing, I think you're gonna see just such a huge bump across the line. It's gonna be crazy with these 3000 series.
I'm excited for those to come in the Geforce Now rigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I would say. That's a big one for me. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I was going to agree. That's what I was two things I'm excited coming up this year, and that is that where they're going to upgrade the Geforce Now rigs to the new cards, and hopefully we get some bumps other way. And unfortunately, I'm going to say what am I most excited for this year? PlayStation 5. They're showing, we're seeing the Gamescom, we're seeing the Ratchet and Clank demo, and actually the next gen, it's got people wanting it. You stick on the headphones as well, and the DualSense or the new controller as well. They're just trying to really sell it, and they've sold me on it. So that is what I'm looking for. I'm going to be going nuts for the PlayStation 5.
I think Sony is doing an incredible job of like building hype for next gen. Kudos to Microsoft, but their approach is, play at your Xbox game anywhere, be it your phone or whatever. As far as like, making games specifically to push Series X, I mean, we look we saw what happened with Infinite, right? That's not like true next gen, but Sony's there. Like they create this sexy looking console. They are bringing like good looking first party, exclusive to the console. So kudos to them for making next gen look appealing. I know Microsoft is definitely not doing a great job with that right now, but yeah. Okay. Anyone else want to answer this, or do we have another question?
We've got
Oh.
tons.
Oof. Okay.
Go on, sorry. Who was that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to see future TVs with built-in apps support for loads of cloud services. So if I can get like a 12-bit panel TV next year with loads of cloud services on it, I think that'll be a win for me.
That's awesome. That's
Smart
yeah.
cloud TV. Yeah.
My betting is we will see that later this year, and it will be Samsung.
Ooh.
Well,
With-
I'm more of an OLED person, so hopefully LG.
True, I want
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. Yeah, that one from 20.
Go ahead, Star.
Now that was the one I was just saying. The LG OLED is what I'm thinking about with the 120 hertz native refresh rate. I was looking at that TV heavily. It's like the CX something, I think.
The CX.
Yeah, I'm really looking to. I'm thinking about grabbing one of those, man.
Yeah, that and the Shield Pro, set for life.
Yeah. So
It's true.
Yep.
Cool. We got like 4 minutes. Any other? Yeah, we have another one. If a game you want is on Stadia Pro, do you prefer buying a game or getting Pro? Oh, that's good. I would say get Pro.
I'd
Right?
go Pro. That's why I got
Okay.
Uplay Plus. I don't buy games. I don't buy
Right.
any Ubi games anymore.
Right. Okay.
Does
Cool.
anyone review cloud gaming devices? I think at least 3 people on this chat. This panel review cloud gaming devices.
Yeah.
right.
I think, yeah. So I guess like shoot us a comment in the Discord with your idea of what you want to talk about.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, if you jump on the Cloud Gaming Extreme Discord, I did create a CGX Cast channel specifically for members of this panel or for stuff discussed in these sessions that we haven't got to here. So
Cool.
yeah, do hop on there. You've got us all there then.
Nice. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm just trying to scroll through them.
Cool.
Okay. Will we get Uplay Plus in October? We've been hoping that we're going to get it every month for the last 6 months.
At this rate, I don't know. I mean, they hinted about it coming in the spring of this year. I don't know. And if we get Uplay Plus, how is that going to work, right? Because it's just a handful of Ubisoft titles on Stadia. So, I mean, unless they're working on like optimizing all the catalog of games to work, how's that going to work? Is it just going to be the Uplay games that are on Stadia right now on Uplay, or is it going to be how's that? I guess I'm scratching my head trying to figure out how that worked with Stadia.
I always thought that
maybe.
I'm sorry. I was going to say real quick. I thought that they tested the waters with Stadia when they released games like Ghost Recon and Division 2. But what I could see them releasing some other games that, with that Uplay, because I read somewhere that it's going to be coming in November real quick. And I think that's what might happen as a surprise to close out the year.
You're going to have Valhalla and Legion, which are the 2 major next gen ones coming to Stadia as well. So I know just Uplay Plus alone for those 2 games would be good for me.
I agree. I think we're going to get it October, November time when Legion and Watch Dogs come out. Then we've got a couple more games which have been listed in Peggy in the Far Cry 5 and Far Cry New Dawn. We will not be getting the full package because the mouse and keyboard support. Some of the older games you have to have a mouse and keyboard, but for Stadia you have to have a controller. Yes, that's me.
Okay, so there we go. Any other questions? We got like 1 minute.
We got one more.
Okay. Do you think Stadia have more server around the world than Geforce Now, who has more coverage? That's great. Who wants to take that one?
Well, on paper at the moment, Geforce Now have got more country coverage than Stadia. I think Stadia have the ability to cover more. They're just not yet.
Okay. Anyone else want to add to this?
Chief said it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think on this one, we may have said last week, maybe a few weeks ago, the first ones to really kind of target the East. Like every time you're on one of these guys' Twitters, or like, when is it coming to India? The first one to properly target that country. They are prime for cloud services over there. So yeah.
They are waiting. Just waiting for that. True. All right. So I think we're done. Just want to take a sec to plug the people on this panel. Like I said, these are awesome people. They do great things. So make sure you follow them. So to start, Jerry, where can they find you?
Oh yeah, Twitter and Facebook at GameTech Planet, and just look for GameTech Planet on YouTube. So far, I'm still the only one you'll find, so go check that out over there. Game testing and comparisons, hardware testing, occasional reviews, all that kind of fun gaming stuff. And follow me, follow everybody here. We have a great time every week.
Cool. Mark, where can they find you, sir, and what do you do?
Mark Watts VOGS over on Twitter and Mark Watts VOG on YouTube. Weekly cloud gaming news, cloud gaming live streams, occasional tech stuff. Yeah, come over.
Cool. Jerry, I forgot to say, what do you do so people can know what to look for what you cover?
For what do I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
Just everything. With I focus more or less on gameplay and more on gameplay testing and comparisons of a bunch of different cloud services, local services. Most people know I have like 6 PCs around the house and things like that. I just don't have time to get it all done. But yeah, anything with gaming comparisons and some hardware reviews. I'll review laptops and different things every now and then. I'm working on a monitor review, a Shield review, and 2 more laptop reviews and a tablet review. Not necessarily just for cloud gaming, but just as a device that'll also be coming out. So I'm kind of everywhere with that kind of stuff.
Cool. How about you, Duncan? What do you do? Where can people find you?
You find me causing trouble on Twitter at Monday Escape, but if you're looking for cloud gaming news, if you go to Cloudy with a Chance of Games, and that's Cloudy with Games on Twitter.
Awesome. Project Storm, sir, where can people find you and what do you do?
Oh, you used to be able to only find me on YouTube, but now I'm all over the place, man. I've been linking up with my good buddy that you all know, MM2K, man. So we just kicked up SML Live, or Storm and MM2K Live podcast that we're going to be doing today. We're going to do that on Saturdays, every Saturday at 12. And then I also do the SSC podcast with him on Thursdays, and Scram Punks with the PNTS network as well on Wednesdays. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, man. I'm just busy now. You guys got me on. I feel like I'm becoming someone. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but you can definitely find me on Twitter at @TheNephiliac, which means someone who loves clouds. And I love cloud gaming, so I went with that. So I appreciate it, y'all.
Cool.
Project, you said 12 o'clock there. Can you just confirm what time zone's there?
Oh, Eastern time. I'm sorry. Eastern time.
Chief and time zones, bro. Like, anytime I give it time, it's like time zone. But yeah, that's hilarious. Cool. Project, man, it's good to have you on here, man. Always welcome back for sure. How about you, Holtz? Where can people find you?
You can hit me up on Holtz86 on Twitter, and you can find me tomorrow on the Gamerman's 3535 podcast with other cloud gamers.
Nice.
So, or you can hit me on the Discord at Holtz.
Nice. Awesome. All right. We cover, us, Chief and Ace here. We do what we do, I guess. All right, cool. Again, appreciate you guys. Just want to give a shout outs to all you guys who super shouted. Again, Project 2, one of them. Warlock, you were one of them. 007, another one. So again, really appreciate you guys. And like I said earlier, this is shared amongst the panel. So thank you so much. And we really appreciate you guys watching and being a part of this awesome podcast. All right, fellas, we'll catch you guys same time next week, 2 p.m. West Coast time. All right, till next time, fellas. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.